Welcome back to TAPInto Hudson TV. We finished our first 3 segments of our maiden voyage, and now we are very excited that we have Karin Romans, race director of the Hoboken 5K, and Scary Scurry joining us virtually. Karin, can you hear me okay?
I can, Steve. How are you? Can you hear me?
Good. I can, Karin. It's a pleasure to meet you virtually.
Nice
Karin, I want to spend a few minutes talking about the race that you're organizing. Everything has changed under COVID-19, including your race. Tell us about how you're making the changes work this year.
Sure. Well, first off, I just want to thank you for your sponsorship of the race and for getting out the word. I also want to thank Chris and HMAG because they've always been such strong supporters of everything the shelter does. And I want to thank just a couple of our sponsors, the main sponsors of the race, Rockefeller Group, the Murkowski family, and Singleton Gallman Realty. So a little bit about the race. The Hobooken is Hoboken's one and only costumed run, and it's one of Hoboken's largest races. Annually, we bring 2,000 people to Pier Park, and usually around 300 kids. And this year, in light of COVID, we cannot. And the race and all of its proceeds benefit the Hoboken Shelter. We have an all-volunteer team, and usually we raise around $100,000 for the shelter. It's the shelter's largest fundraiser. So this year, to respect social distancing during the pandemic and to keep the community safe, we made an important decision to go virtual. So what that means is it's a virtual race you can complete anywhere in the world. You can choose how, you can choose where you want to complete distance. You could walk, you could run on a treadmill, you could ride your bike, you can move in another way. It allows people of all ages, speeds, and abilities to compete without time restrictions. But you will be allowed to do it over the course of a week from 10/26 to 11/2, and you'll be allowed to upload the fact that you've finished and completed this big accomplishment into our system Run Sign Up.
And Karin, you've really worked hard for months now on making sure that this is going to be very successful. You've done a t-shirt design contest. You've announced that you're giving out medals for the first time. So you found a whole lot of new ways to interact with families in ways you haven't before. I mean, I find that very impressive. Right. What has the response and reaction been?
The response has been great. I think the race has always been a community event. I think one of our favorite things was my husband loves the fact my husband and I started doing this about 5 years ago, and we've been working with the shelter probably for about 10 years. And our favorite comment was that it's Hoboken, it's Halloween, it benefits a charity. This is what Hoboken's about. So I think that kind of sums up what the race is. So this year, we've had a lot of support for the shelter. I will say immediately following COVID, I work with the shelter part-time in a marketing capacity, and there's just been the community response was staggering, and we can't thank people enough for thinking of the less fortunate in the community. So we really wanted to find ways to connect. So like you said, we did a t-shirt contest, and we're really excited that we have some amazing artists that have designed the adult t-shirt and also the kids t-shirt. We also had a local mom who's created a scavenger hunt. So once you register, you'll be allowed to view that scavenger hunt, and she has 2 different options for people to go find things around town. She created a key, and she also did a downloadable craft kit. She's an amazing local artist, and she put together kind of all the crafts and Halloween activities that she does with her kids and now has shared them. So for $10, I think it's really a can't beat thing for kids. And then I think for the adults and the people in our community, it's a great opportunity. I think everybody's talking about the fact that they've gained the COVID-15. So this is a great opportunity. If you haven't already found your exercise regime, you could do a half a mile a day, or you could try and complete the entire 3.1 in one day.
Jumpstart a road to recovery from a health perspective, maybe. Karin,
Exactly.
We could spend a whole show on this, and maybe more than one, but can you give us 30 seconds or so about the services that the Hoboken Shelter provides?
Sure. So the Hoboken Shelter provides food and shelter. I think that's what you think of traditionally. They sleep 50 people nightly. They serve 500 meals a day. But they also provide homelessness prevention services, which is making sure that people can get into homes. So doing security deposits and helping people actually achieve that goal of moving from the streets, the shelter, to a home of their own. They do permanent supportive housing. And then they also offer what's called a change in independence program. So they provide workshops to help people with skills that they'll need to actually move on. The executive director, Jacqueline Cherubini, has been there over 16 years and is really a fantastic resource for ending homelessness in our community.
And Karin, before we wrap it up today, how do our readers and our viewers find the Hoboken Shelter and also find the Hoboken 5K and Scary Scurry online?
Excellent question. So you can find the Hoboken Shelter, HobokenShelter.org, and you can find all of their resources, and they will be getting a new website soon, which is exciting. For the Hobooken, you can sign up at Hobooken, with that boo in there, .com, or you can go to Run Sign Up and Google Hobooken.
Perfect, and we'll put that back out to our readers. Karin, thank you for joining us this afternoon. I know you're busy in the lead up to the race. To all of our readers that are watching us on our first show, we appreciate you being a part of our family. I'd like to thank Chris Holleran and Al Sullivan for joining us, and please keep sharing information and keep sharing news and keep reading. Thank you.